Hey everybody, welcome back. So tonight I was working on the map, so I figured I would just make a video while I'm working on the map. This is uh, this is an edit because I've been trying to learn how to use Giant's editor. So I'm currently editing the Alberta map for a little personal use, and just trying to learn how to uh, fully utilize Giant's editor. And right now I'm just working on terrain and kind of modifying things to better suit my gameplay. So let me back up a little here. So like here on this particular road, this was completely perpendicular to the asphalt surface, and these intersections over here are kind of tight. So I figured I would just try to make them a little bit more user friendly. So I got uh, I got a Logitech G13 keyboard, left-handed keyboard that I have set up and mapped with certain key bindings. So like I said over here, the roadway surface was just completely perpendicular. So I wanted to try to add a little bit more room so you can turn trucks down this gravel road across this grade crossing. So, and then here at the end of the fields, there was shrubbery and fence rows that went through here. And I got rid of those because they were so narrow that you'd have to you'd have to drive into the field with everything before you harvest the crops to hook up the header and kind of get everything cut in. Otherwise, the only way to get through the fence was through with a really narrow head, and just to open up the end of the field so you can get equipment in and out was kind of a pain. But so I just got rid of the fence row and the bushes that were down here. Same thing here. Like I'll adjust this access little driveway, get rid of some of this grass and retexture some of this ground surface, and I still have a bunch of work to do because I added uh, over here, I added a little bit more dirt and gravel, but I need to kind of put some grass in around here to make it look a little bit more natural, and then maybe I might put like, I don't know, maybe like a mud puddle or something like that, and just kind of try to break it up a little bit so it looks a little bit more natural. But just been kind of going around and adding things and moving stuff around. If we go over to where the main farm would be, which here I'll just try to get this. Let me turn this texturing off here. If we go over here to the main farm, behind the grain bins, this was all trees and everything in here. So I got rid of the trees. I moved this bin from next to the grain leg here, was right in here, and I moved it across just to kind of make this a little wider, getting in and out. And I got to still do some work around here. And then I pulled this building. I copied it from another side of the map, and textured the ground surface and kind of raised the terrain a little bit so that when you try to drive a tractor in here, there's not a hump. And let's see here. Oop. And then there was a fence row that ran along here. Got rid of that. Got rid of the trees and the bushes that were here because I plan on adding a few other buildings here. This propane tank came along with this building because it was in the same transform group. And I tried to smooth this out to a reasonable level. There's still kind of a hump over here, but this building's got, like if we go in here, if we go inside this building has working lights. There was a lift over here, which I got rid of that. And I basically left the workbenches and everything in the back of the shop. I kind of liked how that looked, and the shelf. But it's got working lights in it. Just pulled it from another, just copied it from another section of the map. Added this propane tank next to this shop, just for a little added bonus. I do plan on putting lights in here. I'm probably gonna get rid of this lift so you can just pull something in, but I want lights inside this shop. So yeah, so that's what I've currently been doing, just a little bit at a time. You know, I mean, I give a lot of credit. I give a lot of credit to the you know, the guys that make maps, including 4MR, because I mean, I'm assuming him and co-collaborators spent a lot of time on working on this map to their liking, you know, obviously, and you know, they were gracious enough to roll it out for all of us to play on, and it's a completely playable map. It's just you know, I figured I would spend some time and you know, learn something completely new, and uh, tailor it more to how I like to play. So since I did that, that's just a little bit of what I've done. So we're just gonna kind of keep on keeping on, and I'm gonna start working on the areas where I left off. So let's see, what do we want to? We want to do texture layer. Oh, I'm sorry, terrain editing. And let's see, what do we want to do? Probably try to add some more dirt in here. So I just been kind of playing around with things, and I've kind of got my opacity and hardness and all these sliders kind of set lower so that I'm not making huge changes every time I click the mouse button, which again I got certain keys mapped over to my G13, just to, you know, so I'm not constantly using just the mouse. But you know, as you can see, I clearly just added some of that dirt texture to it. And then I can come over to grass, and then I normally, when I put grass in, I put it in like state 4, you know, because that's fairly long. But then if I just make a few clicks, I can get rid of it fairly easy. And if you have the little circle here too small, it won't really remove much. I mean, it'll add grass in that little spot, but it there's a lot of, you got to constantly click to get it to go. So I try to just spread it out a little bit, make it a little bit bigger. Just to try to make it look a little bit more natural. You know, you don't want to take too much away because then it looks kind of hokey. So let me move around a little bit and see how that's looking. I want to maybe make this a little wider. Maybe make this a little wider. So yeah, I might be just kind of happy with that. Just bring this kind of to the edge here. Kind of open that up a little bit. And then let's see, we got what else do we got here? Animal mud, water puddle. See, and that might look a little too unnatural. It might be a little actually too big actually. So let me do, rough dirt. Try to make it a little. Oh, we might have to pick a different one here. Just try to kind of play around with it and see what you like, you know. Oh, let's see here. No, for some reason I got that messed up a little bit, but again, like I said, I'm just still trying to learn. Still trying to learn. But nice thing is got music in my headphones, and I don't have to worry about it playing in my video, so I don't get a copyright strike, which is good because I haven't found any copyright free music that I like that I can play in the background at lower level. But at least I can stream some tunes while I'm working on the map. So I want to go back to rough dirt and try to get this. There we go. I got to get rid of some of this grass here. Oh, we got to go up. Try to get a better aerial view of what I'm doing here. And we gotta try to, oh, because I gotta change to info layer. I might have need to change that to a different grass texture. There we go. Try to make it look a little closer to what was already there. So we got that. We need to change this back to gravel. Ah. There we go. Okay. So, okay, got that. I need to change this over to dirt again. Get back to the right layer. Oh, that was rough grass, not rough dirt. There we go. Widen out this driveway a little bit here. Then we want to get rid of some of this grass, just to make it look a little bit more natural. Okay, we got that. There we go. Okay, so we got that going for us. Now we'll get moved in here a little bit, and got some grass here. And let's switch over to some weeds. Oh. Might have to go a little bit higher here. No. For whatever reason, it's not wanting me. Let me place any of that. So let me change the texture here once. Oh, because I got to change the state. Okay. A little bit better. Okay, so we got a nice wide turn in. I'm going to add a little bit more grass over in here. Oh. Try to make it a little bit more natural. So Now we got that, we'll turn that off so we don't make any more changes. And let's come down here and see where we got field entrances and see how wide they are. That one's not too bad, needs a little bit of touch up, but this here, we'll get rid of that fence. That should make it fairly wide to get in there. See, like this field doesn't look like it has any fences in it at all, just fine. So let's move down here a little bit farther. Sometimes I move it, the mouse just a little too fast. I wish it was a little slower. So obviously, I mean, you can see that distance right there. I mean, that's pretty darn narrow. So just probably get rid of these two posts, and that'll, you know, that'll basically double our width. You know, and sometimes depending on how the individual modder put the transform group in here, whether he or she did it as a single component or as an actual like complete piece. I mean, since the whole thing is highlighted, I don't have to remove the post and the barbed wire. I can then just hit delete and it's gone. I don't want that texture. See now there, let me get it a little closer. A little too close. So you see it only highlights the end of the post in the, some guys call this the widget or whatever. I mean, this is your X and Y and Z axis. You know, I mean, I can obviously make a floating post, or I can make just a little stump guy, or I can just hit undo and it'll put it back to how it was. So in order for me to get rid of this, I have to get rid of the post and each one of the pieces of barbed wire. That's gone. And now there's a lot wider access into this field. So I just basically kind of just moving through the map in quadrants and trying to you know, make it a little bit more like what I like. So I can start moving over this direction, you know, and if I wanted to get rid of the power lines, I could do that. I mean, I'm leaving them in because it adds to a more realistic view. But like these posts, I'm gonna get rid of. Like here, I gotta get rid of the barbed wire. And now we got a wider fence opening to get access to this field. You know, this field could easily be combined into one just by, you know, getting rid of this grass plane, you know, the border between the two fields, and then the fact that the grass is overgrown into the plowable, you know, into the actual field textured surface. So over here, there was trees and everything right at the corner of this field, and if you hired a courseplay worker, because this field comes to a sharp point, the courseplay worker would always want to get caught up in these trees right here. And then there was a fence row that ran along this border between these two fields, and it always gets stuck, always gets stuck, always gets stuck. And not everybody plays, with Courseplay. They do a lot of stuff with, GPS mod and, on their own. I like to run bigger fields, so I use Courseplay a lot. So, but people think that Giants Editor is intimidating, and it might be at first, but once you start to, by no means am I an expert, not. But it's once you really kind of get it, start understanding how, it's like a cake. Everything's put together in layers. You have to start with the base texture, and then you can build upon that. I don't know how to do field borders or, determine what's that and how to do the PDA and all that stuff, but one step at a time, and I watched a few videos on YouTube, but they were back from 2017, and a lot of the functionality is the same. The interface is basically the same as from 17. It's just the textures and things like that are so much different. And then this map has the seasons mask built in, which that's another dynamic that I would like to learn. And yeah, so like here, since this little road, this little path is fairly narrow, I'll probably just get rid of this post and those 3 rows of barbed wire, and same thing kind of down here at this other end, and then you can get a wider implement, planter, combine, your grain trucks and stuff like that down through here quite a bit easier. Oh, come on. There we go. So, okay, so now we got that. That's pretty darn good. That poor lonely house out in the middle of nowhere, which is the standard house. I might have to put a little driveway in there and a garage or something like that, just to add something to it so it doesn't look so lonely out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, and then working with the basic ground textures, and then I'll learn stuff on how to work with the road surfaces and things like that. I mean, and every mod maker, every map maker is so much different, and I just tend to save, it's saving right now. I tend to save every few minutes just so that, God forbid I have a crash or something like that, and I don't have to go back in and redo it all. But hopefully everybody enjoyed just a kind of a real relax video today, and it's currently January 2nd, which is Thursday, so hopefully everybody's enjoys their remaining day of work for the week and has a hell of a weekend. So I'll probably spend another 2 hours messing around with this and then call her done for the night. But thank you for sticking around and watching the video. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so. It'll mean a lot to myself. Follow us over on Facebook. We do have a Discord set up, so shoot us a message or hit us up on Discord. And thank you for watching. This is Diesel Gaming. We'll see you in the next one.